Hello, friends. Welcome to the second and final part of my lecture on Aristotle's Poetics. We begin with the definition of tragedy here. As you know, Aristotle says that tragedy is a representation of a serious and complete action which has magnitude in embellished speech, with each of its elements used separately in the various parts and represented by action, not narration, accomplished by means of pity and terror, the catharsis of such emotions. There are 6 parts of tragedy: mythos, that is plot; ethos, that is character; dianoia, that is thought; lexis, that is diction; melos, that is melody; and opsis, that is spectacle. I strongly recommend that you learn the Greek equivalents of the English 6 parts of tragedy, so that when they ask the questions about which one is which, you are able to tell them that plot is mythos, character is ethos, and so on and so forth. So plot is an organization of incidents, a change from bad to good or from good to bad. Complex plots have anagnorosis and peripeteia, that is a recognition and reversal. A good character faces misfortunes due to hamartia in tragedy. The second part, that is character, it is about moral and ethical character of agents, and it supports the plot. So these two are the central internal characters of a tragedy. A character should be good, appropriate, and consistent. Thought is dianoia, is the ability to choose right from the wrong. Sorry, character. Thought is the reasoning of a character. It is the very process by which the character has the ability to choose the right from the wrong, and thought explains that process of choice and how it is reached. It is the inner debate, if you want. Diction or language is the spoken part and the verse part. A tragedy can be without words too. Drama can be pantomime too. But it is when we talk about diction or language, then we are talking about words. Melody is music and dance. It was a part that chorus performed. Now we need to go to the next section. So there are the plot. There are 2 types of plots: simple or aploi, and complex, that is peplegomenai. The parts of plot are anagnorosis, peripeteia, and pathos, that is suffering. Probable impossibility is preferred to improbable possibility. That's what Aristotle says. Now we come to the 6th part of the tragedy, that is spectacle. It is that which is visible, like set, like costume, like props, like gestures, and so on, so forth. It is the least important element. Do remember, spectacle happens to be the last in the series and the least important of all the elements. The origin of drama, tragedy is in dithyramb and comedy is in phallic procession. Now some important terms. Chironomia is the hand gesture of actors. Philopatria is love for one's native city or land. Hamartia is to miss the mark or to err. Also sometimes called tragic flaw, but the literal translation would be to miss the mark. And this is as a result of ignorance. For example, the case of Oedipus, some problem in judgment, or some flaw in character, as the case of Medea is. The tragic hero's misfortunes are not due to their vices, but due to hamartia. And that is one main reason for the overall impact of Greek tragedies. Hubris is the foolish pride, the dangerous overconfidence. Mimesis, of course, imitation, and diegesis is narration. Anagnorosis is made up of ana, that is again, and norizein, that is to know. And peripetia is made of peri, that is around, and piptein, that is to fall or to fly. So peripetia is the veering of action round to its opposite. Rex Oedipus has a complex plot, and Medea has a simple plot. And the reason is that there is anagnorosis and peripetia in Oedipus, but there is neither anagnorosis nor peripetia in Medea. Now we need to go to the next section. So peripetia and anagnorosis are both very important. Plots and characters are internal or subjective, and the other four parts are external or visible. Moira is the share of misfortunes a man is allotted by gods. Ikia hedone is pleasure proper to tragedy. Hubris leads to miasma, that is pollution, that leads to kenosis, that is expulsion, that finally leads to catharsis. The tragic paradox is that tragic events are pitiable, but they give pleasure. The best form of anagnorosis is always coincident with peripetia. The structure of tragedy begins with complication, goes up to climax, and then is resolved in denouement. Now, Plato and Aristotle looked at mimesis in art in two different ways. For Plato, art was accidents, and for Aristotle, it was essence. So for Plato, it was lowering. Poetry lowered a person with a guardian, and the elevation of the person was what Aristotle saw as the effect of poetry. A brief mention of the three great Greek tragedians, Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, beginning from Aeschylus, whose Oedipus Rex and Seven Against Thebes, and of course the Oresteia trilogy are famous. We come then to Sophocles, whose Antigone, Oedipus Tyrannus, and Electra are well known. And finally, we come to Euripides, whose Alcestis, Medea, Electra, and Hecuba are all well known. Three forms of the plot. They are all, Sophocles and Aeschylus, they are mentioned in Poetics. Three forms of plots are to be avoided. A good man going from bad to good to bad luck. Bad man going from bad to good luck. And a man not preeminently, a good, going from bad to good luck is okay, but a very good man with no faults of theirs going from good to bad luck is one form of plot that should be avoided. Bad man going from bad to good luck is to be avoided, and an extremely bad man going from good to bad luck doesn't have any effect. So that is all about poetics that I want to share with you. I hope this works for you. Thank you.